Hey, and welcome to another installment of Geek Out Commentaries. I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jake.
And we're continuing our countdown to Avengers Age of Ultron by watching the first Marvel sequel within the cinematic universe, Iron Man 2.
Woo!
Which is, I feel like if Iron Man hadn't been such a runaway success, because it was second only to The Dark Knight as the highest grossing movie of 2008, I feel like instead of Iron Man 2, we would have seen like a Thor, Captain America movie a lot quicker. But they instead we're going to get Iron Man 2, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. I will say it's probably my least favorite of the Marvel Cinematic. I mean, again, still entertaining film. I feel like there might be too much like studio control. Like it feels like one of those kind of sequels where the studio kind of stepped in maybe a bit too much. I know that one of the big strengths of the first Iron Man film, which we touched on in that commentary, a lot of the dialogue in that film is largely improvised by the main actors. And I feel like the studio wanted it to be a lot more tightly scripted this time around. And it kind of feels like it. The dialogue's a little more stilted. Mm-hmm. To its credit, the action sequences, I think, are better in Iron Man 2 than the first film, largely because Genndy Tartakovsky, the guy that created Samurai Jack and Dexter's Laboratory and the Powerpuff Girls, did all the major storyboards for this film. He was hired by Favreau to do the storyboards. Favreau did kind of go out of his way. You know, he took on Matt Fraction as a creative consultant. Matt Fraction had a very long run writing Iron Man and was the Iron Man writer at the time. And so he was kind of a consultant on this film. And yeah, there's a lot of things that the film does right. And there's a lot of I mean, it's kind of a growing pains film, I think, for the Marvel Studios. Mickey Rourke kind of complained, has since complained in interviews. And even now, like when he was doing press for Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, he was complaining about how Marvel initially undercut his salary and how a lot of his material wound up on the cutting room floor because they weren't sure of the direction, how serious they wanted to take the film. And they felt that some of his scenes were a little too dark for a film that was trying to, appeal to a wider audience. And Samuel L. Jackson almost didn't come back because he was initially offered a lowball offer to return as Nick Fury. And then they signed him to an unprecedented, 9-picture deal to kind of...
That's wild.
Yeah. Because initially...
That's like how Weird Al had a 14-album record deal that he just cleared with the release of this year's, or last year's, mandatory fund.
Yeah.
We also get the first appearance of Black Widow in this one.
Yep.
And we also get War Machine in this one as well.
Yeah.
Which is I think that's the best part of it, the War Machine Iron Man team up.
Definitely. I feel like narrative-wise, the big thing that hamstrings this is it spends a little too much time setting up, a wider Marvel universe and not as much time kind of focused on the core story. Also,
kind of what I'm worried about with Batman vs. Superman.
Dawn of Justice, yeah.
Well, I also remember when this was coming out, we were talking about, I think in the last Iron Man podcast, about the talk of it being like Demon in a Bottle. And I think that was the original intent, and it really doesn't follow through with that.
Yeah, again, they were trying to, appeal to a wider audience, so they don't really want to go too dark.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been really dark, but I remember thinking like, I was looking forward if that was the way they were going to go. I mean, they touch on some of the alcoholism in this a bit, and kind of the more recklessness of Tony in this one. But
it's also kind of like a bit of Armor Wars, which was one of my favorite Iron Man story, where Justin Hammer gets his hands on Iron Man technology.
You do, I mean, we'll talk about obviously as we go through, but you get some really great,
just moments
and shots, in this one definitely, and there's some really great
Sam
action.
Rockwell. Everybody loves Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, and it's got some Daft Punk too.
Yeah. So, without much further ado, Chris, set us up.
All right, so what we're rocking with right now is the Iron Man Blu-ray. Again, it's not a special edition or anything like that, and I don't think there are any special editions out there that have added scenes and whatnot. So you should be good with watching whatever medium you're using. So we have the movie started, and they paused on all zeros on the counter. So I'll give you a countdown and then tell you to hit play on your remote. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
I gotta say, Chris, you really do a good job counting us down every week.
Oh, thanks.
Unsung hero.
Yeah, it means a lot to me. to make sure everything runs smoothly.
Yeah.
I've listened to a couple of those commentaries. Like, I think Kevin Smith, he'll like just right at the beginning of the audio file, it's just like, and play.
I always get off somehow with,
You always get off somehow. That's good.
Well, yeah,
man.
listening to the Kevin Smith podcast.
Somehow.
No, get off of out of sync. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Yeah.
All good.
I hope our listeners get to stay in sync well. I don't know. Haven't gotten much feedback from the listeners.
Not for the commentaries, no.
No. People love our banter, though.
They do.
He's watching Iron Man on DVD.
I mean, yeah, basic, straight up. There's some elements of what's his name? Mickey Rourke's character comes from is informed by Crimson Dynamite too.
Hmm.
There he is, the man, the myth, the Rourke,
The wrestler. Springsteen had a great song.
Oh, for
Mickey
them,
Rourke asked him to write it for him
Yeah.
for the movie, and he did.
nominated for best original song.
Yep.
Wake up, Mickey.
It's time to get up. It's time to get up. It's time to get up in the morning.
I have to say that Whiplash is kind of a throwaway character as far as like Iron Man villains go.
Oh yeah.
He did some intense stuff to prepare for this character, though, right?
Yeah. He, he learned Russian. He visited Russian prisons. Has like temporary Russian gang tattoos, but they really don't elaborate on it. At least not in the final cut of the film, which really pissed him off.
Yeah, I imagine if I put all that effort into a character and then like only like half the stuff that supposedly, I filmed got into the movie, I'd be pissed too.
And to this day, I mean, a lot of that stuff isn't on the deleted scenes on this thing, at least on this release of the Blu-ray that we have.
Yeah. Well, maybe now that Disney owns it, they'll release.
Full disclosure, I don't have that collector's set, that Phase 1 collector's set. That being said, I don't think that had any extensive deleted scenes on that either.
So I think it's a well-known fact that I eat during these commentaries, as you can tell from my voice. I just bit into a little, like, Kit Kat bite.
Mm-hmm.
It was all chocolate, no wafer. I'm a little upset.
Yeah.
Like, I love chocolate, but I get Kit Kats because I like the wafer inside.
Oh, I would say most do.
Little tidbit.
I do love that they got the young pictures of Robert Downey Jr. for some of those magazines.
Yeah.
They use that in The Judge as well for the yearbook photo.
The cover of Forbes.
Yeah.
Yay, Sam Rockwell. Bread.
Bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
Clark Gregg.
Oh, no shit. He's in this movie?
Yeah, he was originally, just a one-off role in Iron Man, but Favreau liked him so much, he brought him back, and now he's the connective tissue of the Marvel Universe.
Now he's fucking everyone's favorite character. I mean, yeah, sure. I was sad when he got shot in Avengers 2, but come on.
Stabbed.
Yeah.
Was he stabbed?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He
Hard.
shot.
Yeah, died hard in that one.
Wow.
Well, not hard
Don't we
enough.
all die hard?
Yeah.
With a vengeance, really.
Die hard. Live free or die hard?
A Good Day to Die Hard. Based on that movie, it's never a good day to die hard.
Yeah. Suppose they're making another one still.
Jeez.
So he effectively made a version of it from scraps. Not in a cave, but kind of...
It does make me wonder how he gets, palladium. I don't think it's... Even on the black market, I don't think it's readily available. Oh, that's right. Justin Theroux wrote this movie.
You can't
The guy
just
from-
go to a 7-Eleven and pick up palladium?
Not last time, I've
Not
never
ours, at least.
I've never been to Russia. I can't speak from experience.
Iron Man 2, Iron Harder.
I feel like there was a whole resurgence of interest in AC/DC because of the first two films.
Oh, definitely.
Also, there was more footage there that shows what's her name, Pepper Potts, and it actually shows up in the theatrical trailer where she kisses the helmet and throws it out of the cargo plane, and he jumps up and grabs it. But he's throwing up because he's either drunk or nervous, and it makes you think that he's flying into a war zone, which they kind of still have with the fireworks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead, they were just like, fuck it, just have him leap off of a supply plane.
Also, jumping out of that plane, he has like no targeting system. Jarvis without the helmet, he's flying. He's free falling blind. Just got to catch it with his eyes, and his hands.
Whenever he was doing like press appearances, like on the Tonight Show and stuff, he would have the Marvel dancing women or Iron Man dancing women.
Really?
Yeah. Like he really loves being Tony Stark.
I mean, he kind of is Tony Stark.
Yeah. I mean, look at him. He's like a sexual Willy Wonka. I think we should all aspire to be sexual Willy Wonkas.
Yeah.
One thing I loved about the marketing for this movie was that they treated like the Stark Expo like it was a real thing.
Yeah. Kind of like this cross between the World's Fair and E3.
Yeah.
I mean, they went big for this one.
To their credit, I think it also outgrossed Iron Man 1, so clearly it worked. But after this, I feel like Favreau was kind of done in terms of directing for Marvel. He was like, I'm cool with just acting. Like, by all accounts, this was a much more stressful shoot.
Probably because it had a real script.
Yeah. And so much expectation.
Except for the Phoenix in X-Men.
Different universe.
Yeah.
For
Different
now.
company.
For now. We don't really know what he's been doing in the 6 months since the end of Iron Man, though. Like, has he been
Obviously nothing, because he's just like, there's been peace and no one's stepped up, so just kind of been getting drunk and jumping out of planes.
Yeah. Unless, we don't know if he ever goes back to Afghanistan. Like that one time in Iron Man 1.
Yeah. You know who does the best impression of Robert Downey Jr. is Jamie Foxx. It's uncanny.
They co-starred together on The Soloist.
Yep.
But yeah, it's straight up in Flushing, New York, like the World's Fair.
Recast from the first Iron Man?
Yep.
And soon to be recast for Captain America.
It's probably all he had to do was dye his hair. He's probably already on a set of something like this for Mad Men. So.
Yeah. Oh, God. Same wardrobe.
Yeah, seriously. Remember that episode? Do you guys watch Mad Men?
I've seen it all, yeah.
Where he ate all that seafood that one episode, and they go running up the stairs, and he just vomits as soon as he gets in his office.
The one where he has a heart attack from having sex.
Yeah, and then one guy gets his foot ripped off by a lawnmower.
Yeah. It just sprays the entire office.
Yeah.
I think you guys are making things up.
Actually, surprisingly, we're not.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all in Mad Men. I need to catch up.
Olivia Munn originally had a larger role in the film. She was originally a party guest at the house party that almost sleeps with Tony Stark, but because of the whole fight subplot, they cut all that material out and gave her that role as a consolation.
What is he wearing? Google Eye?
He's got a GoPro. precursor to Google Glass.
I always
or something.
loved the way he interacted with the
Hey,
fans.
It's the head of Oracle who sponsors this film. It's Stan Lee as Larry King.
He confuses him for another person in this one, like he does in the first one. Confusing
Yeah.
for Hugh Hefner. I always love the way Robert Downey Jr. interacts with the fans, the kids. Like at different Comic Cons, they did the thing where they got all these kids in Iron Man outfits, and they had them say, you know, who's Iron Man? They go, I'm Iron Man. And then you hear, say it one more time. And then over the microphone, you hear Robert Downey Jr. say it, and then he comes out, and all the kids are like stunned, you know.
Feel like that's an actual Robert Downey Jr. peeve. Not to be handed things. Of course, that's
Hey,
Kate.
it's Sue Storm.
Yeah. Or Zoe Barnes from the American version of House of Cards.
Her dad owns the Giants. And her mom's side of the family owns the Steelers.
Her sister's the girl with the dragon tattoo, American
right.
version.
Also Nancy.
I feel like Senator Stern maybe has like an ulterior motive, like he's working for some clandestine, like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Mm.
that's not going to come back and bite me in the ass later.
No. He's just running the room, man.
Oh, he's from Pennsylvania. Didn't you go to college in Pennsylvania?
I did.
Oh, it's Justin Hammer. None of us have actually met Justin Hammer or Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell's so good.
Always
so good.
I love me some Sam Rockwell.
You know what my favorite movie with him is? Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
No, he's great. It's Chuck Berry, yeah. George Clooney's directorial debut.
I like how he's carrying around the microphone like he's doing
Yeah,
stand-up.
yeah. Or he's like on the Price is Right.
Yeah.
Or like he's Chuck Berry from, yeah, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Or
It's-
like he's just
Chuck
Sam
Berry?
Rockwell.
yeah, it's very clear though.
Is it Chuck Berry? Chuck
In-
Berry, the guitar player? I mean, I
No,
know he's not playing the guitar.
Barry with
but-
an A. Barry with an A.
Is it? It's Chuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Does
Barry-
he have a cousin named Marvin?
Still with an A. Still with
So-
an A. Not an E.
I'm just saying. He could.
Marvin Barry with an A.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear though that like his character is a guy that wants to be Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Like he tries to go after his women. He tries to dress like him and be cool like him.
Funny if he had like a really shitty goatee.
And of
His
course,
patchy because his hair doesn't grow the right way.
Yeah.
Oh, the big reveal.
yeah, so much.
And his classic line.
yeah, so much controversy over the recast. Nice little wink. After, I feel like the budget reason was another reason why they didn't bring back Terrence Howard for this one. Like why they almost didn't bring back Samuel L. Jackson or get Mickey Rourke in the first place.
I was looking up Sam Rockwell's like IMDb. His picture is like staring into your soul kind of picture.
That's a nice nod because in the comics in the 90s, Tony Stark was the Secretary of Defense. Do you guys have any preference between Don Cheadle or Terrence Howard?
I really loved Terrence Howard's performance in the first one.
Yeah, me too.
And I was really sad when he got recast. Just because, to me, Don Cheadle's a great actor, but he doesn't look like, some big, tough military guy, which I envision, Rhodey as being. But he does do a great job.
It's like RoboCop.
Totally killed the cameraman.
Mr. Hammer runs a technology industry and can't figure out how to turn off a TV.
He's probably not very hands-on. Kind of reminds me of Bill Murray in Ghostbusters.
Inspirational music in the background.
Yeah. Justin Hammer's much older in the comics. Now that I'm thinking about it, he's like in his 70s.
Sam Stone quote right there.
That's got my attention. I think we've got Mickey Rourke wearing like an Axl Rose type bandana. Yeah.
Welcome to the jungle of Moscow.
They got no fun in games. Just electric suits.
I'm surprised that suits like this didn't become a big thing at raves.
Yeah. Come on, EDM crowd, step it up.
$80? Ugh. So he has palladium poisoning?
Yes.
Okay, that was something that was always a little bit unclear to me when I was watching this. And then what's this?
It's the palladium core.
It burns out?
Yeah.
But it's still the best thing for him to use to power the thing.
You can't, as Jarvis is saying, there are no viable elemental replacements at this time.
But his dad invented one.
We'll get there. I like the idea that blood poisoning looks like wiring, though.
Yeah.
And when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh shit, he's becoming more
extreme,
more machine than man."
Yeah, he's more machine than man.
The idea of the more extensive virtual reality stuff. Jon Favreau was like, the stuff that we were using in the lab sequence in the first film is already starting to come into use, like in some high-tech labs. So he purposefully stepped it up for this film.
It is funny how movies do that. They almost dare you to create it, And, looking back at James Bond movies or Star Wars or Batman or just comic movies in general.
Star Trek. Everyone
Yeah.
forgets before Star Trek, their automatic sliding doors weren't really a thing.
And flip phones are because of Star Trek.
Damn right.
You son of a bitch.
I feel like I saw so many of those in fucking 2008.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair, if it's only been 6 months, and if they've rebounded from dropping 55 points in a single day, and now they're higher than ever, they just lost their CEO when they found out he was a bald megalomaniac. They're doing okay. I feel like the dialogue is a little, like I said, a little more. They were trying to replicate the kind of dynamic they had in the first film, and it's not as quite as effective, or it doesn't flow as well.
He hung that up so shittily.
Yeah, interior design isn't his bag.
Demon in a bottle.
No, that's champagne.
It's demon in a bottle of champagne.
The best label.
Congratulations, you do all the hard work. I'm gonna have fun.
I do like the idea that, oh, by the way, it's kind of, they elaborate in the novelization and the deleted scenes that this guy works for the Ten Rings, the organization he faces in the first film. But they don't really mention that in this. He just kind of hands him a passport and walks away.
They're like, who cares?
But I do like the idea that Tony Stark, like, his reliance on the Iron Man suit and, like, showing it off is killing him. It's,
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh, another Clash song.
Yeah, I get the feeling Downey Jr. loves The Clash. And he should, because they're one of the great bands of the 80s. This is also a nice nod, because in the comics, Jon Favreau's character, Happy Hogan, is a boxer before he becomes Stark's bodyguard.
Yes.
Scarlett Johansson, in a role originally offered to Emily Blunt.
Chris Nolan likes girls.
Does he ever? Well, that isn't creepy at all. Still.
Dick's Sporting Goods. What a nice little move. Sorry, I had to do it. I looked it up because it was bugging the shit out of me and probably no one else.
Mm-hmm.
It's Chuck Barris.
Oh!
It was driving me insane. I had to do it.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I mean, I'll survive.
I took Latin and somehow passed.
I remember when I saw this movie in theaters and he pulls up that shot of her modeling career. Like, people were in the theater were just like, damn! I went to school in a very urban area.
Ding, ding.
Ding. Yeah. She has like totally different hair in each movie, doesn't she?
She's got the same hairstyle between the Avengers and Age of Ultron.
Oh, she does?
But yeah, between Avengers and Captain America the Winter Soldier, yeah, it's a lot different. It's straight in that one.
That was like in every trailer.
Yeah. Oh, this is Jake's big boner moment. It's coming up in this scene.
Well, I just like the Monaco Grand Prix in the first place.
I mean, it is Formula One.
Yeah. The raceway is so narrow that it's one of the not one of the few, but it's one of those races where if you won the pole position in the qualifying, unless you really fucked up, you were pretty much going to win the race because there was really no overturning or passing you're going to be doing because the streets were so narrow. It's a really fun race to watch.
Oh, look at that. She's already taken the drinks away from him.
They've like alluded a little bit like early on, like, have you been drinking, this or that. Yeah. So like I said, I can understand why they didn't do it. I was just bummed they didn't because I like that story arc.
It's a heavy topic. And there's Elon Musk.
Yeah. Based Musk. It's funny. He was actually on Colbert like just a couple months ago talking about making an electric jet.
Good foresight, Mr. Musk.
Yeah.
Hey. He's so great. Did you ever see Moon?
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
Do you know those two are dating in real life?
Really?
Yep. Like, I feel like they met during the production of this film.
Stupid finger. Oh, he's staring right at me. I do think this is one of the cooler. For me, this movie comes down to like two big action sequences, and it's this, and then the War Machine team up in the end. Where is it?
Yeah, he's number 2.
There he is, Joey Chapman.
Joey Chapman, if you don't know in the comics, is the second Union Jack.
Third.
Fuck me in
Sorry.
buttocks.
Fake nerd.
He is.
Don't you start.
No, yeah. So
You're
he's
such a fake nerd girl,
he's-
Sam.
He's
Oh, God.
Union Jack, and he, is representing
He's pointing at him.
the UK with the Union Jack on his car.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll probably never see Union Jack in a fucking Marvel movie, even though we should, because he's fucking awesome. So I can't blame Sam for screwing that up, because nobody reads Union Jack except me. And
The sad thing is, I have the story where the original Union Jack dies.
yeah, I picked up a
Captain
couple of
America.
the all new Invaders, or not all. What the fuck? The original Invaders, where he shows up. He comes out of retirement.
The original All New Invaders.
Yes. So that's not suspicious.
Yeah, everyone else is like clean cut, and then there's Mickey Rourke.
It is cool that they set this in Monaco, and because I mean, this is like a huge freaking deal. Like the race.
Oh, it's like the
so
biggest
huge.
Formula One race.
Yeah. Looks like a job for Whiplash.
I love how it burns away at his suit.
Yeah.
It looks so cool.
I have to say, though, that suit doesn't make you impervious to bullets.
All I want to do was race in Monaco.
Oh, that could have been Joey Chapman, man.
Could have.
This is why we'll never see Union Jack in the Marvel Cinematic U.
Now, Joey Chapman would have done a front flip out of it and then killed Whiplash. And this movie would be really short. And then we'd be all obsessed with Union Jack, the greatest British character since James Bond. So this seems like a dumb idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he didn't have to go in reverse traffic. I don't know. The trailer really played up this sequence.
Oh, they show, yeah.
Yeah, they kind of made it look like this was kind of the climax of the
Yeah.
movie.
Amazing thing about these cars, man, they break away, and like those cockpits, like, are indestructible. You know, I'm not saying like any F1 racers ever gonna have to worry about Whiplash cutting their car in half, but like the
But if they
the
did,
well,
they'd
yeah,
be
if
fine.
they did, yeah, the safety precautions nowadays are astounding.
Is that Union Jack?
Union Jack already won the race.
He was in second.
Well, his pole position was second.
That's a
so
Roxxon car, by the way.
So we had-
Roxxon's being one of the big evil corporations in the Marvel universe.
Is
So
that the same evil corporation that was in the first Iron Man, or was
It
a
is
different one?
It is indeed. Good eye, sir. And this entire thing with Iron Man's suit being in a suitcase, for the longest time, like in the 70s and 80s, he could carry his Iron Man suit in a suitcase.
And this is actually one of my favorite Iron Man suits because of that.
the Silver Centurion.
Well, I love the fact that he, does it. I love the way that he puts on the suit.
Oh yeah. In the film,
in terms of like how the suit is, like it compares to the other suits, like it not really like I don't really have a favorite in that regard. Also, I would like to question. So he's able to destroy Formula One race cars, but he whips at Tony Stark's leg
and it's intact.
and just like kind of trips him.
I remember in the trailer, the music like went along with the beat of him whipping the whip.
The trailer was set to what's that song on the Razor's? It was set to the Razor's Edge. What's that song on the Razor's Edge? Yeah, it was the title track from that album.
Firehouse. It's called Firehouse.
Yeah, the three songs.
Now the suit does make him impervious to head-on collisions, though.
Yeah,
Just another day in the life of Mickey Rourke.
yeah. Yeah, to be fair, I don't think he anticipated there being a giant electro-powered man.
I never really liked this scene. How it's just kind of like almost like Three Stoogey slapsticky.
Doesn't the
It doesn't help that they're all like yelling during this sequence
Yeah.
too. And then, poor Jon Favreau.
that airbag was the studio,
Yeah,
always in his face,
and that face was his face.
and that face was his face.
Jake, I really liked that. I didn't catch that quite
Oh, thanks.
right away. That was really clever. But, like, I mean, come on. How cool is that?
It's cool.
So
like it,
cool.
you know, and it is the play on the Silver Centurion look, and it's super awesome.
Which is probably, one of the coolest Iron Man designs. I wish they'd go back to it.
Yeah, kind of like the upside down triangle kind of top.
Yeah.
When was he really rocking that in the comics? Like
80s,
Yeah.
particularly during the Armor Wars, my favorite Iron Man story. Man, maybe I should have stayed out of whipping distance.
yeah.
Yeah, you are fighting a villain who has a finite range.
Yeah, and you can
And
fly.
you have the ability to fly and shoot projectiles.
Now, granted, this suit for some reason, I don't know, I always got the impression it wasn't as like super duper
It's a mobile suit.
as compared to the other ones.
Which,
It's like
which are
it's like
completely immobile.
it's like the cell phone compared to an iPad. I don't know. Not as powerful. Well, fuck you then. He's dead. Oh, bunheads. I wish it was back on TV. And Chapman wins the race. Yeah. Sad Iron Man. Didn't the box set for like wasn't there an Iron Man box set you can get, or like the Phase 1 box set that came in basically that suitcase? Was that how it came in?
No, it was the Tesseract suitcase. from
Oh,
the Avengers.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
I thought there was.
Although that would be cool if
There-
they did an Iron Man.
There was something
yeah.
I thought you could get where it was in the Iron. Maybe it was just a prop you could get.
Or maybe you could get like a Iron Man 1 and 2 double disc thing with the in that Iron Man suit.
Possibly.
Cinq minutes. I remember there was people that were like, "Oh, is the long-haired guy they're taking pictures of Thor?" And it's like, no, it's just some long-haired dude they're taking pictures of. Not everything's an Easter egg, guys.
That's something that these Marvel movies have ruined.
The notion of Easter eggs.
Well, like, yeah, the like with that, like everything's got to be a fucking Easter egg.
Speculators run wild.
I like Tony's outfit in this. It's back in black. AC/DC.
A lot of AC/DC. There's 3 different AC/DC songs in the trailer alone. Shoot the Thrill, Razor's Edge.
Are those the only
and-
2 Clash songs?
Yeah, that I know of. And what's the third song that they did? War Machine, off of Black Ice.
Sold exclusively at Walmart.
That's right. It's the only AC/DC album I don't have because it's sold exclusive.
Kiss did that as well with Sonic Boom.
Yeah. There's a lot of Kiss albums I don't know, and then that's one of them.
I own most of them, so you technically own them. They're at your disposal if you ever want to listen to them.
I know Chris wants all of Lick It Up.
Dude,
All
will,
of that
I'm gonna,
one song.
I will buy you like the fucking vinyl of that just to have so you can hang on the wall.
Yes, I would so do it.
Well, we were at like FYE or something. They had like a edition of it, and I was
Wait,
like,
is
"When is
Lick
your
It Up a
birthday,
whole
Chris?"
Album?
Oh yes,
or?
a whole album called "Lick It Up."
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was their first.
The song you know is the title track.
Yeah.
Yep. Judging by that, like Vinnie Vincent should be your favorite Kiss guitarist because he wrote a good chunk of that album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that lesbian is my favorite.
Don't worry, folks. They're talking about Kiss as well in this scene.
Tony's favorite album is Destroyer.
I feel like he would like Destroyer. Although they have a
between that or Love Gun, right?
Love Gun. They have a Love Gun special edition coming out, Samuel. I don't know. I feel like for some reason that's a great album.
Yeah. But my
Almost
birthday
just
is
as
in
good as-
April.
Okay. Maybe Christmas then. Almost just as good as Destroyer. Maybe right up there with it. It would be Love Gun. So I hold all my food. Xbox off.
Looks pretty good for an in-flight meal.
I don't think I've ever actually had like a meal on a plane that I can remember. It's always just been like, the peanuts or the
They're
pretzels.
hard. I mean, they're harder to come by now. Most places, unless it's a particularly long flight, and most flights nowadays, like short flights, you have to pay for the peanuts now.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck that. I haven't been on a
Well,
plane in
so
years.
The last time I was on a plane, they were like, we don't offer peanuts anymore, because peanut allergies. They do pretzels. I think.
Did you have to pay for it?
No,
or?
I think a bag of pretzels was free, but you had to pay for a drink, no matter what it was, and it was like you'd get like a little 10-ounce can of soda, or no, well, a can of soda is normally 12 ounces, right? So it was like a 6-ounce can of soda, so it was like a half can, and that was like $2.
I remember one time I asked for just a cup of water, and the stewardess brought back a styrofoam cup of scalding hot water. Like, scalding hot water. And I was like, okay. Don't know why you did that. Also, I remember one time, like, because of the pressure, they had, like, a bag of chips. And it was, like, like, super inflated because of the pressure. And when you opened it up, it just smelled like fart. So, yeah. Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2 checks for pretzels. I always felt sorry for this guy.
I did love how like they did it with like no words, They just revealed.
Yeah. He's just like, oh. Fuck. So how would they make out the prison number if he gets blown to smithereens?
Also, like,
just in case they don't know what's going to survive.
That's a fair point.
wouldn't some of the tattoos you think would survive? Like, he's covered in them.
Yeah.
Oh, this man has 0 tattoos.
This is a French prison.
Also, this isn't Mickey Rourke.
Actually, it's a Monacan prison.
Oh, is Monaco a country?
It's
I'm
a
really bad.
principality, yeah.
I'm really bad with my world geography, as with most American students from public school.
The curse of American public school.
Have you seen those drawings of the American?
Europe? Yeah.
No, well, no, like European students drawing and labeling the United States, which is just about as complicated as Europe.
Yeah. Europe's pretty complicated, to be fair.
Actually, probably less well, no. Who's your favorite Grant Morrison character? That would be
Do you
what
guys
your
have any-
T-shirt has.
Yeah.
Just find some way to
Yeah.
write.
Do you guys have favorite Iron Man stories?
No.
Iron Man characters?
I've always just said, Demon in a Bottle.
That is an Iron Man.
I don't know enough Iron Man outside of the movies. But
I mean, I'm not a big expert, but I have always liked the dynamic between him and Rhodes, and I don't know. I haven't read much. When I was a kid, I always played with the toys, though. Like, I didn't read much of the comics, but I had a bunch of the toys. And though I always sided with him in Civil War, though.
Really?
Yeah.
My
whole
America.
My whole thing was like, I mean, it's to an extreme, but like, cops don't wear masks and have their identity sealed from everyone. It's very easy to find out anything who works, anywhere.
Yeah.
So why should superheroes?
I mean, what follows kind of justifies why Captain America was right with Norman Osborn taking control.
Yeah.
Granted, that's an extreme.
Extremist.
Yeah. But
But
I
like
don't know. I feel like it was the same thing that the X-Men had always kind of been fighting.
like when the game Ultimate Alliance 2 came out, I sided with Iron Man. And also because I like that book, Martial Law. Just going to leave it at that. Read that book. Awesome comic character.
The only difference between you and I is...
Everything.
Wait, did Mickey Rourke actually win for the wrestler?
No. Sean Penn won for Milk,
Oh, yeah.
which was fantastic.
Yeah.
He was fantastic in that movie. But I think even Sean Penn was like, okay. I think he even said something like, about Mickey Rourke in his speech, because they seem like buddies.
I feel like Rockwell was also nominated for either supporting actor or actor for something and didn't win. So that's something
Was it
they have in
Moon?
common.
Maybe.
Might have been Moon, directed by David Bowie's
man.
son.
Yeah.
I really want to see Moon.
It's so good.
I hadn't heard about it at all, and then I randomly came across a trailer while I was on YouTube, and I was like, "This looks amazing."
It is. Remember him in Galaxy Quest?
I think that was the first movie I ever saw him in.
Look at that fucking statue in the background. Looks like the alien from the end of Close Encounters that comes out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like the string alien that you see once and you never see it again. Like you don't see it go back in the ship. They cut back to and he's just gone. He's free roaming, running around. You know where he ended up? In fucking Stark's apartment. That's where he ended up. The statue. Terrifying. Like that's a beautiful, wonderful movie, but that alien coming out of there is scary as shit. I remember one of I forgot which director it was, who was like, they should have cut, the movie should have just ended right there, credits roll, and be like, what the fuck? Young Mickey Rourke.
Just let anyone down here.
Passwords 1, 2, 3, 4.
Everybody knows the passcodes.
PCH being the Pacific Coast Highway.
Is Don Cheadle going to... I mean, I know he shows up in Iron Man 3, obviously, but you think he's ever going to show up in, like...
Oh, yeah.
He is?
Just to answer the question you're about to answer.
Okay.
Him and Falcon are going to team up.
That'd be so cool.
And they, they're doing, parallel missions to Iron Man and Captain America.
I wonder if they'll go head-to-head in the third Captain America film.
He's really, underutilized in Iron Man 3. Almost like a punchline or like a joke.
Oh, yeah, with the Iron Patriot armor.
Mm-hmm. Also, the War Machine armor always looked like way more badass. Like he puts a minigun on his shoulder.
Yeah. Cooler, more monochromatic
and
color
also,
scheme.
Yeah, and also you would think out of the two of them. Now, granted, Stark's got the brains and has been in the suit longer, but Rhodes, his life is strategy in the military. He would be.
In the comics, he becomes Iron Man during the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
but goes insane because the Iron Man armor was tailored to Stark's neural pathways, and so since he doesn't share those, he goes crazy for a bit. But yeah, in the 90s, he became War Machine. He was War Machine on the animated series too,
And he sprang to life.
in the what was it, the animated movie Ultimate Avengers 2, Tony Stark uses the War Machine suit because he's like, it's slow, but it has some sweet guns, and then he gets his ass kicked.
Also, Kiss has a song called War Machine.
Kiss and AC/DC.
Yeah.
Although I was quoting 99 Red Balloons. Or Luftballons, if you're a purist.
99 Rosa Balluna. Or Luft... What fucking ever.
Yeah.
Wow. Everyone can hack my stuff. Jeez.
I love the obvious spray tan on Sam Rockwell. Like you could see it on his hands because he's a weenie. Are they ever going to make a Black Widow movie?
I mean, they've talked about it. The rumor is Marvel's holding a press conference where they're gonna. They're always rumored to announce their full movie slate, especially after DC announced their entire, movie slate. But yeah, there's talk about them because, for the longest time they never officially announced Cap 3. But everybody knows that Cap 3 comes out like the same year as Batman v Superman.
I always thought it would be funny if, all this, people can't shut up about how, there should be a Black Widow movie. Be hilarious if, they never announced that they were doing one, and then just, suddenly, a month before it comes out, there's a trailer for a Black Widow movie, and it's like, oh, yeah, by the way, we've been secretly making this.
Yeah, did you think it was another Cap?
Yeah. You thought we were making another Iron Man movie.
I remember when Scarlett Johansson delivered that line as well. People in the audience, when I saw it in the theater, were like, oh, snap! Like, you could tell that they suddenly were sporting, 6 to midnight boners.
Well, there we go.
Yeah. The best Stark. This is where the movie kind of falls apart for me, actually. In retrospect. I mean, fucking look at... And there's DJ AM. As himself.
Fist pumping Iron Man.
For the armor shots, unlike the first film, he doesn't have armored legs. It's he's wearing a pair of red gym shorts, and they added the armor legs in post.
Oh. I always wonder that, certain scenes... I mean, obviously there's certain scenes where it's obviously not, but, when it's a full body shot and he's just walking or standing...
Who still wants to sleep with me? DJ AM is pleased.
Waterworld. Waterworld.
It all comes back to Waterworld.
He's responsible for Ultron and fucking Waterworld. There's that fucking alien.
Yay, shattered glass everywhere.
For someone that sloshed, his aim is impeccable. There's always a watermelon at these things.
Gallagher.
To be fair, they're all used to being covered in sticky slime. Because they were kids on Nickelodeon when they were younger.
Oh, that's exactly what I thought you were talking about. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
I think this is where the Daft Punk comes in. Two robots fighting during Robot Rock is kind of perfect. I remember that got a huge laugh when I saw it in the theater.
Originally, they were supposed to. They still do crash into Tony Stark's bedroom, but Olivia Munn was originally supposed to be there before they cut that scene out.
Waiting for Tony.
Yep. Another One Bites the Dust might be my favorite Queen song.
It's a good one.
Off the Game, I think.
Yes.
I'm not. This is now no longer Another One Bites the Dust.
It is a mash-up.
Yes.
It's impressive how quickly he was able to figure out how to use the suit.
Faster than Tony did.
Yeah. Here we go.
Robot Rock is probably my favorite Daft Punk song on this album.
That's the song that made me really fall in love with Daft Punk. The video's so great. The videos aren't usually just Daft Punk. And that video is just the two of them jamming.
Like solid gold style.
Yeah, like looks like it was recorded on a VHS.
Yeah. Might have been.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Damn it.
I wanted more.
That's why the scene doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And now I'm Frankenstein status.
I do like this part.
Oh, the roar? Like they're running from Godzilla?
Yeah.
And the kitchen sink.
Uh-huh.
That's all the alcohol he's been drinking going up in flames.
Oh, it's the only nod we really get it in this movie, at least, of him being War Machine. Or called War Machine, anyway.
Don't cross the streams, guys.
Yeah. You know, in those last two movies, Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3, his house gets fucked.
Yeah.
Obviously not as hard as Iron Man 3, but still pretty bad. Still
Why he moves to New York.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's comfortable to pass out in the Iron Man outfit. Iron Man armor.
I'm not angry, just disappointed.
Now clean up your room, Tony.
Think about what you've done.
And the United States officially steals an Iron Man suit.
No gives you backsies. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think they'd reverse engineer the shit out of that, but we don't really see that happen in Iron Man 3, do we? Maybe it'll happen in Iron Man 4 or something. Who the fuck knows?
Directed by Mel Gibson, hopefully.
Hey, it's that random Air Force guy that, contradicted a direct order by Colonel Rhodes. Huh. Glad they brought him back. He does jack shit. But hey, look, he's back.
Like a dainty butterfly, we land.
Colonel, do we get to win this time?
This time, John, it's up to you. I love how we just totally reversed that this time. Remember, like, the day after I moved in, I immediately bought all the Rambo movies and we watched 2 and 3. I don't think we watched 4 though.
No. 2 and 3 are like entertaining.
Yeah.
Which doesn't say 4 is a bad film, but 4 is gravely serious.
Oh yeah. I mean, 4 is way better than 2 and 3. Hey,
Life goal right there.
There it is.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah. I forget when and what the context was, but life goal.
Oh, I didn't know they signed you back, Sam. All right, cool.
Chris Nolan likes girls. Chris Nolan likes girls.
We first met working together on The Spirit. It was horrible.
Oh God. My favorite thing. Sam, why do you own this on Blu-ray? I don't know.
He kind of does remind me of the octopus for whatever reason in this movie.
He does have 8 of everything.
Yeah.
Or at least 8 of as many things the octopus had 8 of.
Guns.
Shotgun barrels.
Lithium dioxide. How did I thought I worked out every combination of elements. I mean, we clearly showed that earlier in the film.
That just shows you how tight Shield is, man. It looks like
and he just mentioned it too.
It looks like Iron Man has tried to mess with the. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say the blinds because, like, if you saw the way the blinds were up, they were all tangled, and I would love to see him just sitting there, like this dude in this suit. They could do everything, and he can't work the blinds.
One of the things that always kind of annoyed me about this is the fact that the weird coincidence that Papa Stark had invented an element but didn't really invent an element. He theorized inventing an element and then knew that Tony would need it in the future and Da Vinci coded a way for him to discover / invent it.
Deus Ex Machina, man. God in the machine. In this case, Dad in the machine.
Pater ex machina.
Yeah.
Since it's Latin.
That's right. I never took Latin.
I did.
Well done, well done.
Yeah, it's because I'm Catholic.
Yeah. The only people that still use it in frequency.
Yeah. And they use really shitty Latin. Church Latin, which is basically Italian.
I took Italian.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's Latin, but you pronounce it as if it's all Italian.
Is this?
And it's like Cajun for French.
Oh man, Creole. Is this film a commentary on the use of drones?
Yes.
Like this is
It's
somewhat,
but
then
thinly veiled, of course.
But then you get the RoboCop reboot, which straight up says drones.
Which, oddly enough, Sam Jackson also in.
That's right. But I like that movie a lot. I like it more than this movie. That's for sure.
Still haven't seen it.
Joel Kinnaman.
No, that's Mickey Rourke.
No, it's Joel Kinnaman in a mask. In a very terrifying mask.
His goatee always bothered me. That little patch of gray and the fact that it's not, like, symmetrical.
It's like,
I mean, it's very real.
I can't grow, like a really full, nice beard, but for the longest time, I had the Ben Affleck Chasing Amy goatee where, like, I could connect on one side, but I couldn't connect the goatee on the other side, just like Ben Affleck in Chasing Amy.
I actually had a similar problem. Like I have like a bald patch on one side, and back when I had just a goatee, it wouldn't connect on that side.
Yeah.
But luckily, the other side where it did connect, the hairs were still very pale, so you couldn't. They were like pale and see through.
Yeah.
So it looked like I just had kind of like a pseudo, Tony Stark goatee.
Yeah. We're very lucky, Chris, aren't we?
Yeah.
With our facial hair.
Yeah.
We're very lucky.
Yeah. And beautiful.
And free.
Yeah.
That is a jacket.
Like, okay, I can get that, like, while trying to create the arc reactor, realized that he needed something more, and, like, I guess, like, understood that he wouldn't be able to make it with his contemporary technology.
But it's magically non-toxic if you happen to stick one in your chest.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem that gets me.
Big leap in logic. That's a huge
That's where the it loses me. But then again, it's fucking fiction, as Grant Morrison loves to say.
Yeah. Huh?
And you can find out all about that in Agent Carter, premiering soon. Ish, I think.
It's already premiered.
Agent Carter? Yeah. I guess I missed it. Excuse me for not knowing that it premiered. Sorry, you guys didn't
all
hear
hung
it.
out and watched it together.
Yeah.
I'm drunk.
I feel like Coulson's lines were written for just not like Shield Agent number 1. They don't sound like Coulson from the first film, or really any other film.
He's like rocking back and forth, like having a good old time. So, Shield has bad taste in shows.
At least they're not watching Cop Rock.
Or bunheads.
You will apologize to me. You will apologize to Amy Sherman Palladino. And he will apologize to the cast of Gilmore Girls minus Alexis Bledel and Lauren Graham.
You will call her.
Yes. You will call her.
And you will apologize to Mickey Rourke, who is a super fan based on his performance in this movie so far.
Totally. How have I not fired you yet, Alan? I don't know why he has to load them for this.
Yeah, because like the magazine's clearly not in it.
Yeah.
That looks kind of like the assault rifle from Halo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the basis for the RCP-90. in GoldenEye.
RCP-90. Nice.
That's the grenade launcher. It's the basis for the grenade launcher in GoldenEye.
Nice.
Why does he point it right at them? That's against like the first 3 rules of gun handling.
Yeah. Also, what is it? Yeah. Treat every gun like it's loaded. Justin Hammer, which I guess you were doing since you were cocking empty guns the entire time.
Yeah.
Cock my ass.
This is the best weapon in cinema history. And its payoff is brilliant.
I love it.
It's so good.
What is it, a cigar?
Even the pistol?
Wasn't
Even-
2 downtown?
Yeah. Are you saying it's too downtown because I'm African American, sir? I don't appreciate your insinuation.
Speaking of Halo, like the... I mean, we don't have to say anything. We just say whatever because we go everywhere all over the place. I always loved using the pistol. And the thing that's annoying in like Reach, you get like that magazine that you get when you start the mission is pretty much it. There's no like reload for pistols around. I always loved using the pistol in Halo.
There's some, but they're harder to come by as you progress.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can't basically survive on a level really. It's tough. It's like Walt Disney and Tomorrowland.
I mean, it's very much kind of the inspiration, I feel.
That and Howard Hughes. It's us filming in the garage.
Ooh, a Tesseract.
Nice little reference there. Oh, I remember. I got the shit kicked out of me for that.
It sounds like filming with Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe they wrote it in invisible ink. revealed only by lemon juice or urine. Better piss on it.
I built this city on rock and roll.
I was about to say that same damn thing. Rock and roll. And you'll only be able to understand it by using a hologram computer that you'll design.
From my balls.
I know I'm a terrible father, and the only way that I can relate how much I love to you is on camera. But I can't do it in person.
I think this is the last film where Iron Man Tony drives Audis. Starting in the Avengers, he's only driving Acuras because they changed the contracts.
I'm fine with handing things to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really might want to see a therapist about that. I feel
This
like
fucking thing. I love
that he hates it.
Yeah. Because I hated it right from the get-go.
That's just one of those douchey, I am super rich. Look at this stupid stick.
Useless.
Steel dancing jabroni. Hey.
Speaking of a steel dancing jabroni.
It's Uncle Bill. Billy.
Billy-O?
Oh, man. Do you hate Pepper Potts because she's a woman? Because that sounds like it's right up your alley, you pinhead.
Do a live. And the crowd goes wild. Talking to Bert from Bert and Ernie on the phone. I always want to eat strawberries after this scene. Kind of like I always want to eat mashed potatoes after that scene in Signs.
You mean that scene from Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
That too. Well, did you? I was rewatching Close Encounters, and I was like, my two favorite Alien movies both deal with Revelations dealing with mashed potatoes, which is insane.
I will say they do a good job of syncing up the rotations of the thing, and
Yeah, that's gotta
they
be.
must have shot it simultaneously from both angles.
That's got to be a bitch to deal with.
Yeah.
I would like that Tony like still dresses kind of like business casual, but still has like the, I don't know, like Converse shoes on. It's hip. Does Fraction ever show up in an Iron Man movie yet? Has he, a la like Brubaker and Winter Soldier?
No, I wish.
Do you have all of Fraction's run?
I do.
Nice. That's a run I've always wanted to read.
If you ever want to borrow it.
Less baggage is a good thing, Sam. Written by the best.
You wanted the best, and
You got it.
yeah.
The hottest half Asian in the room. Kiss.
What?
I played in a Battle of the Bands once, and we started our set like that. Not hottest Asian in the room, but just to the, you wanted the best, you got the best.
Was it the Hoochie
It was the Hoochie Coochie Boys. Yeah. Got an Al Pacino haircut going on in this one. With the goatee. Oh, Iron Man flies. Repulsor rays in my eyes. Alcohol. Flying. Hangovers. Hoo-ah. Yeah. Nanny boo-boo. Strawberries. Oh, strawberries. Tastes like strawberries.
You know who my favorite hero is? Hawkeye.
Hawkman. Hawkeye. Hawkman. Oh yes, Hawkman.
Hawk guy.
Flying through the air, mace in hand, lovers united, only to die again and again.
That bare chest.
Bare chest,
The wingspan, so majestic.
majestic, eyes of a psychopath, the armor of a hawk, the green pants of a hawk, the nipples of a hawk, the grace of a hawk. This has been an ode to a hawk by Al Pacino, referencing Hawkman.
He's going to totally waste all those strawberries.
I know, that's such a bummer because
Those
I love
delicious
strawberries.
Yeah. More vitamin
Oh, he
C.
didn't even
get it in the
fucking
can.
get it in the trash can.
More vitamin C per amount than an orange.
Per amount.
I was like, per ounce? No.
When I was a kid, my mom used to like pour a little sugar on the strawberries.
Yeah.
Really good.
My mom, too. Maybe that was a mom thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that was just a
mom
general
thing.
mom thing, yeah. Because mine did it as well.
Oh, it's so convenient that I have this, like, fully, to scale map of the Stark Expo. And then it
So that's
And
dumb.
it fits conveniently
in my
I
Audi.
wouldn't say conveniently. It fits.
That's a selling point for every Audi R8.
yeah. If you want to wear, if you want to,
fits conveniently.
yeah.
Amazing that it didn't break any of those things.
This is cool to like scan this, so I don't have to fuck with this anymore, and I could just play around with it.
And crazy that it didn't have a scanner that he could have used at Stark Industries.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I do love the, how he figures this out
Mm-hmm.
as excessively convenient and Deus Ex Machina it is.
What? The center is the nucleus?
Chemistry with Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Or biology, if it's a cell, but it's not. It's an atom.
It is an element, so I think that would be chemistry.
So what's his face is the voice of Jarvis, and he's also going to be the Vision.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. I'm assuming that, like, what's his name? Ultron's the bad son and the Vision's the good one.
Interesting. You can believe an android will cry or can cry.
Now, I'm not, a science-y kind of guy.
That's because Flash.
Jazz hands.
But to discover a new element, don't you just have to add, like, an extra proton and neutron and electron to an...
I don't know about proton, neutron, and electron, but if you added an electron to, say, like, a pre-existing element,
Well, yeah, then it would be, like, ionized or
it
whatever.
would be an isotope.
Isotope. Whatever. I said or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean... But, like, the difference between hydrogen and helium is that it has one more proton and one more electron and one more neutron.
There's also slight changes in atomic mass.
Sledgehammer.
Yeah, because there's
Because
an
of
added,
the, yeah. But there's, I mean...
I'm sure there's more subtle stuff than what you learn in
Yeah.
high school chemistry, but like it doesn't make sense to me that like, oh, Tony Stark or Howard Stark, theorized a new element back in the 60s,
74.
and it wasn't until like 40 years later that Tony was able to create it
And nobody discovered it in the interim?
with scraps
Yeah.
in his Malibu mansion. Well,
Again, there's a little more to it, but
yeah.
I'm not an expert in the field. Like
You're just slightly better than me. Even
fucking Coulson.
granted, he is an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. He probably just has like an agent, a S.H.I.E.L.D. override. to
He
it.
is the agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Furry.
What?
Oh,
As we now know, of course, Coulson being the huge... And of course, I remember in theaters,
Yeah.
When he pulled that out, everybody in the theater's like basically like jerked
Yeah,
off
because
on the screen.
because everyone was like, "Oh my god, you can see it in the background of one of the scenes in the first Iron Man movie."
In the DVD release. Yeah, they digitally added it in.
Really, I thought it was in the theatrical too.
Nah,
No,
it was added in post or in post. It was added a little ways after.
authoring.
Yeah. So, like you were mentioning in the last Iron Man commentary, when you saw the Iron Man and Iron Man 2 back to back.
Sorry, they said New Mexico.
Yeah, it probably was there. That's probably why I thought that it was in the original theatrical, because by that time people talked about it because it was already out on DVD.
The New Mexico is a reference to what's going to be Thor, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Land of Enchantment.
It all
Of course,
comes
that
together.
that's Tom Morello back from Rage Against the Machine
That's right.
as the guitarist, though he doesn't get as much cool stuff to do this time around.
He doesn't get to get smashed.
Yeah,
in
he
a
doesn't get
cave.
the first Iron Man casualty.
It's beautiful. Na 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 na. Raiders.
So this is like a small hadron collider.
Yeah, he basically built a hadron collider in his fucking basement.
I wonder how accurate this is. I love how that is a flammable case that he just burnt in half. I wonder how accurate this is to the actual like creation of a artificial element.
No, they actually did it for the movie. They actually
No,
created,
this
is
is
real.
This is Iron Manium.
Well done.
Much like how the movie caused Iron Mania. Huh.
How rich?
Oh, how droll. You know what? I think I'm going to completely change my suit to follow this triangular pattern.
Joss Whedon hated the triangular pattern.
I'm not a big fan of the triangle either.
That's why he brings back the circle for the Avengers. He's like, that's what's in the comics. They never had the triangle shit.
Circle gets the square.
Triangle gets the nothing
The triangle gets my ball sack.
right in its mouth. Should we, even acknowledge that?
Wings of a bird. Beak. Strong.
I think the Angelica has Birdman.
They do.
We should go see it.
We need to see it.
Maybe this weekend.
It's getting like
Because by the time
Oscar.
this commentary posts, it's totally still in theaters.
Don't lift the veil.
the veil lifted like the wings of a hawk.
Interesting. Chris didn't seem to know that Agent Carter had already premiered, and they're talking about Birdman being at a movie theater.
Yeah.
I wonder when they made this commentary.
It's a second run of Birdman.
And Chris just doesn't watch TV
It
anymore.
won all the Oscars, so they had to put it back in the theater.
When do you think this commentary is being posted?
It's delayed, and it was a special printing screening.
A special
Of
Oscars
The
too.
Oscars. So
It was a mid-season Oscars.
February sweeps.
yes.
So don't lift the veil.
There is no veil.
Only Zool.
Yes. I'll speak goddamn fucking English. Don't try.
Are they like Wu-Tang Clan? Are they
They-
nothing to fuck with?
Here's the thing. He clearly has a camera. Like, see that big black thing? That's a camera. How does he get away with what he gets away with again?
I like how where their name badges are, it just seems to be like a white plate. Booble cycle?
How did he just magically hang both? Never fucking mind. No sign of struggle other than, like, blood on his hand. And just a little.
You know what's funny? He's been telling every TV he comes across, he just says mute, and it mutes. But I guess he wants to be quiet, and he doesn't want to say mute.
Yeah.
But still, it's funny.
Funny that he had to use his hands
Yeah.
like a baby's toy.
Yeah. Okay.
It's Back to the Future 2 reference.
Oh, that works in every other movie ever. So how did that not work this time?
You know what's funny is
Tracing
that
a call
it
always
doesn't
works.
take nearly as long
Yeah.
to trace a call as movies make it seem.
Yeah.
As he just vomits up everything that he's eaten for the past year.
No.
Is he becoming the alien from Close Encounters of the
He's
Third
becoming
Kind?
Dr. Manhattan.
Oh, hey, that looks just like the World's Fair.
Oh, hey.
Hey!
Hi.
We're about to get another, like, scene that everyone seemed to react to in theaters,
Oh, yeah.
which is to say the shot of these two walking up the stairs.
Yes.
Everyone in theaters.
Boner inducing.
Everyone in theaters.
I mean, they do
loved
have
that.
some nice calves.
Well formed, yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
they have.
You know,
Here we go.
one thing that
This
I was very
gets me
surprised
going.
about
There-
is that,
so
like,
good.
I was walking up the stairs behind one of my lady friends who has very, like, she's very athletic, and I noticed her calves. I was like, okay, maybe I'm a calf man.
Captain Cav Man.
Smattering of applause.
As everyone goes, print is dead. I'm happy and yet at the same time sad that he didn't, like, blurt out some sort of, like, it's hammer time joke. Mostly sad.
Yeah.
Those ones just sit around and do nothing.
Oh, snap.
No love for the Coast Guard. You know, Jeff Bridges was in the Coast Guard,
Really?
and he was in Iron Man 1, so maybe they should have had the Coast Guard.
Here we go. Looks good, man. I dig it.
Oh, hey, he made them salute.
Make salute. How quickly did it take it? Did Jarvis tell him how long it would take him to fly the Iron Man suit from Malibu to Flushing?
I mean, he can do like Mach something or other, right?
Something. I mean, we do see him break the sound barrier in the first
Yeah.
one.
That would make the trip take like an hour or something.
Okay, don't give him a wave.
Dick.
Yeah. There's a half-assed wave.
Yeah.
Software is shit. They really do love breaking those little window things. You know, like they did it during the Obadiah fight.
Oh yeah, at the back at the next
Yeah.
to the arc reactor.
I think, I mean, clearly we all know that Mickey Rourke hates glass.
Yes, as our faithful commentary listeners have may remember, in Double Team he goes out of his way to break shitloads of glass.
I know you're on my 6. You're shooting at me.
In the original, then this was storyboarded too, though I don't think it was ever filmed. The Sam Rockwell was supposed to be killed in the crossfire by the evil drones.
So he got caught up in the crossfire?
Yeah.
Whoa! No one calls me a bitch.
If you ever watched the short film that came with, was it Iron Man 3 or was it Thor: The Dark World?
I think if it's the one you're talking about, I think it's... Or I know which one you're talking about. I think it's Thor: The Dark World.
Hail to the King with Mandarin?
Yeah, that's Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, where you see Sam Rockwell in prison as Justin Hammer.
Yeah. I loved that.
They filmed it over because he was filming a movie in Canada, so they had to film his material in a single day between shoots.
One of my favorite little moments is coming up shortly. I can't remember exactly when.
And I do like that film, as I assume most of you have seen Iron Man 3, you won't mind my saying that I like that it kind of was like, oh, hey, remember what we did with the Mandarin? That story's not done yet, and there's a real Mandarin. Like that was a nice touch.
Yeah, because they had seen the fan response about fake Mandarin wasn't maybe the best.
I felt pretty cheated myself. I didn't like it. I love Ben Kingsley, and I thought he did a great job, but I didn't like the fact that
Mandarin really is the definitive Iron Man villain in a lot of ways. And I feel like as they're kind of, adding more... I mean, fucking aliens attack New York City in the Avengers. You can kind of get away with some stuff.
as long as it's not a female-centric movie.
This part's cool.
And that's just like how he treats real kids.
Such a sweet moment. I
Remember
was like,
that-
He's such a nice boy.
Remember that picture of him posing with a crying kid?
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He was he showed up to some kid's birthday, and the kid was so overcome with emotion that he just burst into tears, and there's this really awkward picture of him posing with him.
I was just like when the superheroes interact with the kids in the movies. Speaking of kids being inspired by like other heroes, did you hear that rumor about Man of Steel? Remember how everyone got their panties in a wad about in the end of Man of Steel, he strikes a pose like Superman, and everyone's like, does that mean he knows he's gonna be Superman? Like, they couldn't just let it be a nice little moment.
Yeah.
That they're saying that he wasn't doing a Superman thing, that he was idolizing Batman, and that it was a Batman pose he was striking, and that when he meets Batman, it's going to be a big deal, and Batman be a Superman. Interesting idea. Interesting thought. Everyone's dead. Everyone's dead. Everyone's dead.
This weird new metal soundtrack that I hear in the background.
Yeah, the best metal.
NU metal.
Yeah. Capital N, capital U, lowercase metal.
Physics. Oh, okay.
I like that look with the one
The one broken lens.
Yeah.
Now his glasses are gone.
It's such a cute scene where she's like kicking ass, and then he's like, I got one.
Yeah. Totally Evander Holyfield's that guy, too.
Oh, yeah?
Wait for it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Is this the coolest Black Widow fight that she's ever done?
I really like her fight against Hawkeye in the Avengers.
Really?
Yeah.
This is cool.
But I mean, it's cool.
I would say that this one's cooler in the regards that like she's fighting like 20 guys.
Yeah.
But I think the choreography in the Hawkeye fight is probably a little bit cooler.
There it is.
Really, the Hawkeye fight? The one I would take away from Avengers was her interrogation scene.
That's
Sure.
just sexy.
I was going to asphyxiate. No, should I do something?
Nah, let him die.
Flip, 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 flip.
What? I love that he
It's
was
like
able
Superman
to calculate
64.
all that.
Yeah.
Through all the rings.
fly through my maze. But yeah, they kind of do something similar in Star Trek Into Darkness when they have to get onto the super evil ship. The difference being here that it's actually
Oh, you're talking about when they're like they fly
The free
from
flying.
if they calculate one thing wrong, they're all dead. And blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
yeah. That doesn't really make sense because they're in zero gravity space. A lot of things in that movie don't make any sense now that I think about it.
That's sweet. She didn't say friend. She said best friend.
Oh my god.
Again, yeah, it feels like the dialogue. They tried to recapture that dynamic, and it just kind of came off as awkward. And this always looked like a video game cutscene. Like an arcade game. Like a run-on-rails shooter where you're War Machine. It would be called War Machine. It would be terrible.
But it would spring to life.
Yeah.
As 99 Luft balloons go by.
I don't know why you're hung up on 99 red balloons.
I don't know. For some reason, whenever I hear War Machine, I just think of 99 red balloons. I mean, if you said War Pigs, I think we all know exactly where I would go.
Yeah, Metallica.
For a second, I was like, wait, did they cover that on Garage Inc? They did not.
I'm trying.
They covered It's Electric or Sabracadabra too.
I'm trying to think how much Sabbath has Metallica covered.
Have they?
On Garage Inc, I think it was 2.
They covered 2 Misfits.
Technically 3.
Actually, 3. Yeah, I was about to say technically 3. They did it in 2 songs,
Yeah.
but 3 songs were used.
Last Caress and Green Hell.
Mm-hmm. And then Die, Die, My Darling, which I like to sing at karaoke.
This is where
because for some reason they don't have the Misfits version.
This is where they play War Machine in the trailer by AC/DC.
Boner. Right there. Sorry. This part's so fucking awesome. Everything rules. Like, even, like, you know, I don't think this movie sucks at all, but, like, even if everything sucked before this part, this is fucking worth it for me.
Yeah.
This part is so awesome. Seeing 2 bros kick ass.
I love his, like, fucking laser hand things. You know, the one-off.
The blades, yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
God, why can't we get a whole movie of this? So awesome.
I hope that's what Iron Man 4 is.
Maybe that's what Age of Ultron will be like.
Just nonstop.
Iron Man on robot action.
It sounds like Sam's dream.
Yeah. I remember when he activates that in this movie. When I saw it in theaters, everybody, that absent-minded. Yeah, the thing I just fucking saw, when he did that, like, everyone in the theater was like, ooh. Again, very audience participation heavy, and apparently bonerific audience.
Sorry, when I lived in Harlem, the audiences were similar.
Should have gone to the Penn Station Theater is probably my favorite in New York, though I haven't gone to a lot of movie theaters in New York, so I can't really talk.
No, in Midtown, that's definitely like the one that I go to, the Penn Station, the one that's like like half block away from Penn Station.
Yeah, like across the street from Chick.
It would be the Penn Station Theater because it's the closest to the Penn Station. It looks like a triangle.
Triangle's bigger. Why do they have to show the face?
Mecha Mickey Rourke. To let you know that when they fuck him up, that it's actually Mickey Rourke.
I mean, they could show him, like, inside, like they do with them.
Such a great build-up.
And it farts. That thing levels, like, buildings and cities. They'd be fucked if that thing worked.
But it would have been effective.
Yeah.
Now killing him.
This is a closer look to what he looks like in the comics, right, Sam?
I mean, there's, like, man suit. he isn't quite like
Man suit.
Yeah, he isn't quite like Ironmonger.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of size.
Yeah, I think they just wanted something big for the climactic battle.
Yeah.
Something like Ironmonger.
I feel like they storyboarded scenes where he isn't in a big fucking suit, where it's just like it's just Whiplash 2.0. Like he's just using the whips again.
But he's got like armor, but it's not like a full blown suit.
Like they don't use the high five here. The repulsor high five.
I do like the high five. And again, fuck glass. Just shh.
Let it rain down.
Yeah. Total neutron reversal. Never mind.
Laughing like the Predator.
All the shattered windows. He had to go through the 3 left.
Oh, I remember what the deleted scene was now. It wasn't that he like has this huge climactic fight with them. He takes Pepper hostage in his like regular, and that was filmed, and you can find the deleted scenes online. I don't think they're on the.
I'm glad that they showed him slow down and stop to pick her up. You know,
Oh yeah.
They didn't just Superman her and
where he would
rip her in half.
Yeah.
Literally dying.
I'm trying to remember how they stop Whiplash in that sequence where he takes her hostage. I don't think they do the super high five because that would blow Heather to Heather.
That's not even her real name.
Pepper to smithereens.
Super high five.
I like that. So, does that mean 1 day or 7 weeks? Dog years.
In dog years, I guess a week would be, if times multiplied by a factor of 7, it'd be 7 weeks.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I was questioning whether the 7 week or the 1 week was the dog year amount, or if she was saying that it's that's the human year. I was making a joke, and you're reading into it.
Yeah, how dare I? Either way, even if by her analysis it would only come out to about 2 months.
I'm just saying, if it's the other way around, then her 1 week is the equivalent. Is the human year version of 1 day in dog years. Is what I was joking.
Oh, so frustrated, aren't we? Oh, look, it's the newscast from The Incredible Hulk, meaning that the bulk of this film takes place before that.
Well, it makes sense because he's like, I don't want to join your stupid club. And then at the end of the Hulk, he's like, hey, we're making a club.
Yeah. And they explain that scene away in one of the short films. I think it's the one that comes on either the Thor Blu-ray or the Captain America Blu-ray, where he pisses off General Ross because Ross wants to put the Abomination, or the Council wants to put the Abomination on the Avengers.
Read on, read on.
One of those hot spots is in the ocean, which always kind of led me to think, hey, is that Namor the Submariner?
The other Captain America?
And there's one in the Arctic, like in Greenland, that makes me think Captain America. And there's one in Africa that makes me think of Wakanda and the Black Panther.
Was there one in the UK for Union Jack?
No.
Probably not.
Fucking shit.
I always thought Highway to Hell was an odd choice.
Mm-hmm.
Because does that mean getting him medal makes he's on the highway to hell? Fuck it, I don't know. Is it the biggest AC/DC? Well, they already let off with Back in Black in the first film. So I guess
Shook Me All Night Long is a pretty big one, too.
Yeah.
Hail Hydra.
Yeah. I want to do
Is he just complaining about his small penis?
awkward smile time.
Ugh.
That's a smile, I suppose. Well,
Do we want to
yeah.
sit here and wait?
Well, we can't fast forward.
We
It's
gotta
true.
wait.
We gotta do it.
I mean, technically, we could. Well, no, I don't want to do all the work that would be required. But I was going to say we could fast forward, and then I could just figure out how much time would be required to pass, and put it in here in the audio. But I don't. I would rather just sit through. That's the amount of work cancels out. Stanley was not himself.
The guy that gives him his thing is still credited as
Jack White?
Jack White. Is still credited as 10 Rings gangster, even though he's not explicitly 10 Rings in there.
Yeah, he didn't even have 10 rings on.
No. So, thoughts on the film now that you guys have revisited it?
It's aight.
I mean, like I said, it's always entertaining. It's not a bad film.
Yeah. In no way is it a letdown.
There is, for me, no Marvel film that is a absolute drag / nightmare to watch.
Yeah. They've cracked the code. It's all pretty good so far.
Even Thor: The Dark World, which I feel is the other real big one that people kind of was like, ugh.
I didn't mind Thor: The Dark World.
I thought it was good.
I enjoyed Thor: The Dark World, and I'm glad that I didn't actually know that it was Christopher Eccleston playing the bad guy. Otherwise, I would have been very upset that it was such a kind of a shitty role ultimately. And I love Christopher Eccleston so much.
I will say this film kind of maybe starts the trend of lackluster villains in the Marvel films, which kind of carries. Actually, after this film, we don't get a lackluster villain until Thor: The Dark World. Coincidentally
So
enough.
a huge trend.
Yeah, huge. And now that I think about it, the only other film is Guardians of the Galaxy. I feel like they could have done more with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that,
Guardians ended up being mostly just flying around space, and
which was cool.
And then a battle at the end.
Yeah.
That was lackluster.
Yeah, and Lee Pace, I think, is a decent actor actually.
Yeah.
But I don't. His character didn't have a whole hell of a lot to do.
No. He was just like, I hate Jack Sparrow. And the universe.
To be fair, we all.
Yeah.
Just a little.
I hate Jack Sparrow. It makes me cry every time I go to a convention or something like that and I see a Jack Sparrow. Like every single one, I cry a little bit more.
Supposed to be Michael Keaton originally.
I think I would have preferred that.
You know what's really
Granted,
you know what's really
the whole
interesting?
reason why I don't like Johnny Depp anymore is because of Jack Sparrow. So
Watch Michael Keaton in Much to Do About Nothing,
Yeah.
and it's Jack Sparrow.
Hmm.
Like, it's creepy how much it's what Jack Sparrow is in the Pirates movies. Kind of interesting.
You know what Michael Keaton movie it's been too long since I've seen?
Clean and Sober.
Multiplicity.
Oh.
I love that movie, and I haven't seen it in ages.
It's a good one. I'm a fan.
I remember this was one of the post-credit scenes that I had to explain to some people when we were watching it after it was done.
I've already forgotten what it is. Is it Colson in New Mexico? Or is that after?
Oh, we'll see. That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
I heard that
I like how the music just stopped, and it's just sitting there like, what are you doing still sitting here watching this?
do you know who Josh Whedon had help with, had come in to help film the Hulkbuster vs. Hulk fight? Michael Bay. So Michael Bay is making his way
Uh-oh.
into the Marvel films.
Hopefully,
But honestly, if you...
hopefully
what-
they'll make a Punisher movie directed by Michael
a lot
Bay.
of smash and bash and explosions.
Yeah, no,
Get
that's what Michael Bay's good at.
You know who would actually direct a really good Punisher film?
Who?
Michael Mann.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
By the way, I know it's already passed, but the visual effects were by a company called Hydra.
Huh.
Just throwing that out there.
Huh.
Indirect foreshadowing.
Hey, additional music by Amarillo.
Hey, new metal.
Oh, there's actually a song called Monaco. And Pimpin' Guns.
That's right. The movie's in memory of Adam Goldstein, who was DJ AM. He had died before the release of the film while it was in post-production. Thank you, David August.
Yes. Good suits.
Made Robert Downey Jr. look like a sexual Willy Wonka. Just want to throw that in one last time. I can't make that reference enough, really. This sequence was actually filmed by Kenneth Branagh because Thor was in the midst of production during the post-production for Iron Man 2, and they're just like, cool, we can just film like this little stinger.
Hammer.
Now it's hammer time. So that really
Well done, Sam.
that really establishes where we're going to go next with these commentaries, guys. If you
Couldn't guess.
if you didn't know that we were doing this by order of release and what came after Iron Man 2. But hey, we'll be back next week continuing our countdown to the Avengers Age of Ultron with Thor. I should have thrown in a random movie like fucking Power Pack or something. Anyway,
Hawkman.
yeah, somebody not even in the universe. But
Or having a movie.
yeah. Hawkman will never get a film.
He will.
Someday. Yeah. So this has been another installment of Geek Out Commentaries. Thanks for tuning in, guys. That was Iron Man 2, and I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jake.
And we'll see you next week.
Toodles.
Bye.